So, good morning to all of you. Last class we did up to what are the requirements to connect to an internet. Now, rest of the topics are like what do you understand by bandwidth? What are the different ways of connecting to internet? And how the data gets passed from sender to receiver in which format? That we are going to discuss. Along with today's video, I'll post the exercise part of this chapter. So, let's start with the first topic, that is bandwidth. You must have noticed that whenever data you're connected to internet, you must be doing that speed test, and you're getting information like how much you're uploading speed and how much is your downloading speed. So it depends on the bandwidth. So basically it refers to the speed of transfer of data over a network. Whatever communication channel you're using, that communication channel is capable of getting how much data, transmitting how much data, is capable of transmitting how much data. It is also known as baud rate, BAUD, baud rate. Okay, so it is the speed of transfer of data over a network. It represents the capacity of a network for supporting data transfers. In digital system, bandwidth is typically expressed in bits per second, like 100 Mbps, or same can be written as 100 MB/s. In many devices, the capacity of bandwidth is represented in minimum speed and maximum speed of data transfer. As I told, the downloading speed and uploading speed, same way it will show you the minimum speed and maximum speed of data transfer. Next comes what are the types of internet connections. Here, just keep in mind, it's not given in your book. You can write down like this. There are two types of internet connections which can be there. One is wired and another one is wireless. So if we are talking about wired connection, then there obviously a wired connection means a cable will be used. Depending which type of cable, it depends on you. It can be a telephone cable, it can be a coaxial cable, it can be an optical fiber cable. Many types of wires are there which can be used for connections. Depending on the type of wire or the type of connection, we have the wired one like dial-up connection, DSL or broadband connection, leased line connection, and cable internet. One by one we'll discuss all these types. Then we have wireless one, mobile technology, which we all are using. Then it is Wi-Fi connection, WiMAX, then satellite, and last one is Wi-Fi hotspot. So let's start with dial-up connection. It is a type of connectivity that uses a modem and the telephone lines to connect to the internet. A modem must be connected to a telephone, not in use for voice calling. It is commonly used connection for home PCs to connect to the internet. Instead of reading the whole paragraph, let me explain to you in a simplest form. When internet reached different homes, means earlier it was not in approach of everybody, but when it started reaching to everyone, we all used to have this dial-up connection. One internet telephone connection was provided, but that telephone, if it was used for voice calling, that time you won't be able to use internet, and if it was used for internet, you couldn't make any voice call or you couldn't receive any call. So it was used for a single purpose, either you go for the internet or you go for the voice calling. So it was very difficult, and since it was the telephone line, a modem was required on both the ends. You must be knowing the definition of modem. It is basically used for converting your digital signals to analog and analog signals to digital. Why there is a need to convert the signals? Like we know that our computers understand only digital signals, but we transmit the data through telephone cables, and the telephone cables are understanding only analog signals. So before transmitting the digital signals to the telephone cable, we have to convert it to analog. And when the receiver receives it, obviously it is going to the receiver computer through analog signals only. That time the analog signal has to be converted to the digital signal, so that the computer at the receiver end may understand it. So at both the ends the modem is required. And here the biggest disadvantage, speed is low, and since you cannot make a voice call when you're using internet, or you cannot use internet when you're making voice call, so this one is nowadays rarely used. Next one comes DSL or broadband connection. Here a telephone line means a copper phone line is used, and same can be used for both the purposes simultaneously. Now what is those both the purposes? You can use the phone for making calls, and at the same time internet can also be used. Nowadays those who are having that modem, those who have taken that BSNL optical fiber connection, they must have noticed One telephone cable is also provided, which is used for both the purposes. When you are making a call, that time your internet is not getting hampered. So that connection is known as a broadband connection, and its speed is too good. And DSL stands for digital subscriber line, and earlier it was known as digital subscriber loop. So advantage, speed is too good, and your signals are not getting affected if you're using the phone for making calls. Next comes lease line. This is also very famous nowadays. Here the type of cable which is used is optical fiber, which is also known as lease line, and it is placed underground, so which cannot be cut easily. Okay, basically optical fiber is a collection of glass strands. So if somebody is trying to twist it to break it, it's very difficult to do that. Okay, and here speed is much better than DSL, and it provides multiple devices to be connected, and since it is shared among multiple devices, the chances of slowing down the speed is also less since optical fiber is used. Next is cable internet. Earlier when DTH connections were not there, you must have noticed how the cable TV was connected to your home. Coaxial cable was there, which was inserted behind the TV. Same coaxial cable, when it's used for transmitting the internet data to your home, then this is known as cable internet. But here what is the disadvantage? That same connection is being shared among multiple users, so speed will be less. Then comes wireless connections. In wireless connection, the first one will start with wireless fidelity. It is a network of wireless connection. It is a mode of communication network that is established by radio frequencies like Bluetooth, okay, but has more power, resulting into a stronger connection. And Wi-Fi is sometimes called wireless Ethernet. Okay, so Wi-Fi connections are commonly established in electronic gadgets including video game. Suppose you have a broadband connection at home, you can have a connectivity with that. You are not having the wired one, you are getting connected with that device through Wi-Fi only. Okay, next is WiMAX. Since Wi-Fi range is less and the area covered is also very less, it is about 10 meters only. But if you want, if for an organization, same connection has to be shared among multiple users, then you can go for WiMAX. A tower will be established which will have more range, and here the speed obviously will be lesser, about 70 Mbps in comparison to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi can have speed up to 2 Gbps also, but WiMAX will provide a low speed in comparison to Wi-Fi, but here the area covered will be more in comparison to Wi-Fi. And here microwaves are used for transmission of data. Then comes satellites. In rural areas where the cabling system is not possible, there we can go for satellites. Here a satellite is placed in the Earth's orbit, and the connection is transmitted from that one connection to one place at the Earth to the that satellite, and then it comes back to the Earth's location. So this area covered by the signal will be too means it will be a very long distance to be covered, and because of that the signal strength becomes very low, and it is easily getting affected by bad weather connections. So since in rural areas though no other way for connecting, no wired phone, no cable connection, so people are going for satellite connections, but it is providing low speed, and it is easily getting affected by bad weather connections. Like if you have noticed that DTH connections, sometimes it shows you know that due to bad weather conditions we are not able to get the signal same way. Okay, then comes mobile internet, which you people are using, and this is the only technology which is having many, means every day it is having new generations. That's why the term 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, this way it is going on. If there is one technology to name that has revolutionized in the way people are contacting or communicating with each other in last 20 years, it must be a mobile cellular technology. Portable devices have been process of huge changes. The data transfer or download speed varies with the congestion, the network task, nature of the data, etc., that has been upgraded in the last 20 years, and thus we can classify the era of mobile technology in different generations. And you know, every generation new things are get added there. Like earlier it was SMS, then came the concept of MMS, and then so on. So the last topic is data transfer in the internet. As I've already told, whenever the message is getting transmitted from one location to another, it is divided into small packets, and every packet is so if I'll ask you the definition of packet, it is a small segment of the information or the message getting transmitted. Now when the message is divided into small packets, every packet is given a packet number along with the sender and receiver computer number. When it reaches the after this, the this all packets are transmitted through the communication channel. Depending on the protocol you're using, accordingly the packets will be transmitted, and once they reach the destination, there the packets are reassembled according to the sequence number which is stored in the packet, and then the real message is framed again and the receiver computer or the device understands it. Okay, the process is somewhat similar to sending parcel to your friend using a courier service. So I hope you all have understood all the topics. I'm posting the exercise also of this chapter along with the video. Thank you and have a nice day.